As an adult, I have had diagnosis of COPD, bronchiectasis, asthma, etc. But my respiratory conditions existed from the day that I was born. When my COPD is bad, I'm having less mobility and getting out less and walking less. Obviously, by getting out less and walking less, you're not building up your muscles as well. And if your muscles are wasting, that does infect your lung conditions. Also, as my arthritis has got worse, that has restricted my abilities, and that therefore has meant that the arthritis has had a knock-on effect of my respiratory conditions. I think most people do tend to associate that palliative care is end of life. That's what most people make that assumption. I think both in healthcare and out of it. But palliative care should be not just end of life, but before it. From my past experience with the NHS, my assumption is they will wait until you definitely are at the stage where you need palliative care, and then they might discuss it with you. Whereas I, as a patient, think that some of the methodologies and techniques used within palliative care, and by that I don't mean the pain-killing morphine for end of life and stuff like that, but some of the physiotherapy type things that they do in palliative care, some of those things could perhaps be initiated before the palliative care stage to try and perhaps delay you going into palliative care. I think it's better to give people the information when they haven't deteriorated as much physically and mentally. So then you can give them perhaps a little refresher of what you told them in the past when the time comes. But it's not a big shock because they've already received it before. I think it's very important that they need to think this is not just a respiratory issue, but it's a mental health issue as well. And they need to have that as part of any discussion and any kind of treatment. Having people like myself on board enabled us to give feedback as to what questions we thought were more relevant to patients, or had something that a clinician designed. Was it too clinical and not understandable enough to the patients? So we would provide our input there. And it's been a very interesting project to get involved with. I could see palliative care not being one set of recommendations, but potentially being a set of recommendations of palliative care for home care of a patient versus a set of palliative care rules for a person who is in a care home or a nursing home or hospice or something. I could see having different documents covering different scenarios as what should be done in palliative care, to take into account the fact that there is that different resourcing available in those two different environments. My final thing would basically just be education. And we need to make sure that both the patient and any family or friends who care for them are aware of how their condition is likely to progress and what kind of the end stages of healthcare will be like for them, and how they're likely to require palliative care for these reasons, what impact that will have on them, how long it might be before they start going on to palliative care. All that stuff needs to be really kind of ideally done while the patient can still cope with it themselves, rather than go into palliative care when the patient's cognitive decline's already gone and they've maybe perhaps got a relative making decisions on their behalf. Ideally, I would say that you introduce the concept of palliative care and you get them prepared and pre-warned about what is involved prior to them needing it.